Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to a special report on migration, and in particular, migration to Australia. Essentially, would the last person to leave New Zealand please turn out the light? That's how it feels at the moment. Have a look at this chart which shows net migration to Australia per year for the last 20 or 30 years. And it shows in the year to September, a net 33,929 New Zealanders migrated to Australia. That is a record for any month ever. The last time we were that high, just over 33,000 in 1 year, was in the year to January 1989. And overall in the last year, a gross 47,166 left New Zealand to go and live in Australia permanently. Now we had some people come back obviously, so the net number was 33,000. But overall, that's gross, 129 New Zealanders every day who choose to go and live in Australia permanently. To give you an idea how quickly it's falling and some of the reasons why, look at this chart which shows the sharp fall-off in the net migration outflow to Australia since about 2003, as the impacts of the tax increases here have started to come through, and as people started to compare New Zealand and Australia's incomes. To give you an idea, here's a chart which shows the average earnings gap, so how much on average extra you earn in Australia to New Zealand. And essentially it's been on a long downwards move, so the gap gets bigger since 2003 or so. And just in the last couple of years, it's increased to more than $30,000. So before tax, you're $30,000 better off in New Zealand dollars to work in Australia than you are here. A couple of reasons for that. The Australian economy has been strong. Ours has been too, but theirs is just a little bit stronger. Also, we've seen tax cuts in Australia and tax increases here, up until now at least. And you can see that for many people, it's more attractive to live in Australia, apart from the weather and other factors. To give you an idea of how much of an issue this is, we've done a chart showing how the number of people leaving to go and live in Australia compares with the number of people who are coming off the dole. This shows you that it's been tracking neck and neck for the last 8 years or so. What does that say? Obviously, we haven't got people going off the dole and going to live in Australia. What's actually happening is we have people who are working here going to find other work in Australia, and they've been replaced by people coming off the dole. Just to give you another idea, the percentage of before tax earnings in New Zealand versus Australia on average, it's gone from around about 75% in 2002, 2003 to about 60% in the last year or so. So the gap has definitely gotten wider. And just to give you an idea of what's generally happening, although there's a big outflow going on to Australia, we still have a net overall inflow. That's because a lot of New Zealanders are leaving to go and live in Australia, but we've got quite a few people still coming in. From Britain, the biggest source of immigrants to New Zealand, followed by India, then the Philippines, Fiji, and South Africa. And the net overall migration in September was 1,706, whereas we had net 2,400 leave to go and live in Australia. So the big picture here is, on the whole, we have educated young New Zealanders who understand this country and obviously have a lot of talent, who are leaving permanently to go and live in Australia. In return, we've got non-New Zealanders, hopefully English speaking, hopefully educated, but not educated here, who are coming to live in New Zealand. So we have an interesting mix here, one that has become part of the political debate. I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz. There was a special report on migration.